He was born the day the oil price hit $147 a barrel. His mother went into labor on the helipad of the Ekofisk platform while the company stock jumped 11% in 1 hour. The nurses wore flameproof overalls. The first thing the newborn prince ever smelled was crude oil and money. They named him Magnus Haraldsen. By age 5, he owned more shares in Nordic oil than most hedge funds. By age 12, he had a black AMX with no limit and a personal bodyguard who used to be Norwegian Special Forces. By age 25, the Bloomberg terminal in his Oslo penthouse showed a personal net worth of $2.8 billion, give or take a tanker. Tuesday, 2:47 a.m. Oslo time. Magnus is alone in a glass villa hanging off the edge of the Holmenkollen Ridge, snow falling so thick it swallows the city lights below. He's barefoot on heated marble, wearing nothing but a $40,000 Rolex Submariner and silk pajama bottoms. His phone vibrates once, unknown sender. Subject line in screaming red capitals. Your $2.8 billion dirty secret 72 hours. He opens the email, one encrypted video file, 47 seconds long. He presses play. It's security cam footage from inside a Swiss vault. A man in an astrakhan hat hands over a briefcase to a banker. The man turns. It's his father, the legendary CEO of Nordic Oil, dead 5 years now. The banker opens the case. Inside, bearer bonds worth $2.8 billion. The same amount Magnus inherited the day he turned 25. The same amount that bought this glass villa, the 85-meter yacht in Monaco, the private island in the Maldives shaped like the Nordic Oil logo. The email ends with one line, reply yes and the world sees this in 72 hours. Reply nothing and we still release it. Your choice, Prince. Magnus drops the phone. It lands face up on the marble, screen cracked like a frozen lake. The red countdown has already started. 71:59 and 59 seconds, 71:59 and 58 seconds. He does the one thing no Norwegian oil heir has ever done. He types the single word yes and hits send, because some secrets are heavier than all the black gold under the North Sea, and the next 72 hours will turn the Golden Prince into the most hunted man in Scandinavia. Tuesday, 4:11 a.m. Magnus is already moving. He throws on a black cashmere coat, grabs a burner phone, and sprints to the underground garage. The car he chooses isn't the flashy yellow Lamborghini. It's the matte gray Audi RS6 with fake plates and run-flat tires that can hit 300 km/h on ice. He paid cash for it 2 years ago, just in case. Plan A. Reach the private jet at Fornebu Airport, fly to Cayman where the real documents are hidden, destroy everything before sunrise. He floors it down the winding Holmenkollen Road, snow exploding against the windshield. At 4:29 a.m. the jet is waiting, engines hot, pilot paid triple to ask no questions. Magnus boards, seatbelt clicks, the plane starts taxiing, then the burner rings, a distorted voice, turn around, Prince. Or your little sister loses her scholarship at Harvard tomorrow morning. He looks out the window. 4 black Volvo XC90s with police lights hidden behind the grills block the runway. Men in plain clothes, but he recognizes the Anti-Corruption Unit insignia under their jackets. He never makes it to the stairs. They drag him out, zip-tie his wrists with the same plastic cuffs they use on drug lords. The pilot disappears into the night with an envelope thick enough to retire. Plan B, the yacht. They release him after 6 hours of questions he refuses to answer. By 11 a.m. he's racing south in the Audi, 180 km/h on the Essex, heading for the 85-meter Nordic Queen moored in Kristiansand. If he reaches international waters, the Norwegian police can't touch him. He makes it at 4:17 p.m., cast off, full throttle, 12 miles out, safe. He finally breathes, opens the safe in the master cabin. Inside, the original bearer bonds, his father's handwritten confession, and a USB drive labeled, "If I Disappear." He plugs it into the satellite laptop and starts recording. This is Magnus Haraldsen. If you're watching this, the $2.8 billion you think is mine was stolen from the Norwegian pension fund over 20 years. My father called it creative accounting. I call it treason. Everything is on this drive, black helicopter, no markings, ropes drop onto the deck, 6 masked men in Arctic camouflage, not police, private security paid in oil money. Tranquilizer dart hits his neck before he can hit send. He wakes up chained inside the yacht's engine room, diesel fumes thick, the same bonds now burning in a metal bucket in front of him. A voice from the darkness. 72 hours just became 48, Prince. The countdown is no longer digital. It's the sound of flames eating $2.8 billion, one bond at a time. The Nordic Queen is steaming north at 28 knots, far above the Arctic Circle, where no satellite dares follow. Magnus is zip-tied to a pipe in the freezing engine room. The last bearer bond curls into black ash. The man watching it burn is Uncle Lars, his father's old partner, and the only person alive who knew where every stolen krone went. Uncle Lars lights a cigar with a burning bond. "You cost us 400 million just to keep this quiet," he says, voice calm like a winter sea. "Russian hackers, Swiss gag orders, a London PR firm that charges by the lie. All because you typed one stupid word." Magnus spits blood onto the steel floor. "The world will still know." Uncle Lars smiles and opens an iPad. Live NRK News, tragic yacht explosion in Barents Sea. Billionaire heir Magnus Haraldsen presumed dead. Photos already circulating. The Nordic queen engulfed in flames, Photoshop perfect. His Harvard student sister crying at a press conference. Number RIP Magnus trending across Scandinavia. But at 3:47 a.m., a whistleblower account at NorthLeak posts the 47-second Swiss Vault video titled, "Norway's $2.8 billion Ghost." Views: 100,000, 500,000, 2 million in 20 minutes. Norwegian Anti-Corruption Police issue a statement, actively investigating historic fraud at Nordic Oil, Wednesday noon. Emergency board meeting in Nordic Oil's glass tower, Oslo. 10 gray-haired executives in Brioni suits. One decision, pay another 400 million to bury the prince forever. 100 million to Moscow trolls to call it deepfake. 150 million to Cayman banks to freeze any probe. 150 million to Crisis PR claiming Magnus was mentally ill, suicidal, drug-addicted. By 6 p.m. the cover-up looks bulletproof. Fake body double spotted in Thailand. Sister posts tearful Instagram, "Please respect our grief." Stock price only down 4%. But at 8:12 p.m. at NorthLeak drops the USB confession Magnus never managed to send. Full 11-minute audio, his voice calm, listing account numbers, dates, signatures, 40 million streams in 3 hours. Comments in Norwegian, English, Arabic, "He's alive. They faked the explosion. Where is Magnus?" The 400 million suddenly looks like pocket change. The Arctic ice starts cracking long before spring. And somewhere in the dark, Magnus hears the first faint sound of helicopter blades cutting through the polar night. Thursday 5 a.m., the Arctic sky explodes with searchlights. 3 Norwegian Coast Guard helicopters descend on the Nordic Queen like avenging angels. Special Task Force operators in white camouflage fast rope onto the deck, doors kicked in. Uncle Lars is found hiding inside a lifeboat, cigar still burning, face pale as the snow. Magnus walks out into the freezing air wearing nothing but torn silk pajamas and a smile. Live television cameras on the helicopters catch every second. NRK breaks into morning programming. Billionaire heir found alive. Massive fraud exposed. Thursday 9 a.m. Oslo Stock Exchange opens and Nordic oil shares crash 68% in 11 minutes. The $2.8 billion is traced to 147 secret accounts from Panama to Singapore. Every krone stolen from the Norwegian State Pension Fund. Parliament declares a national emergency. Thursday 11 a.m. Press conference on the deck of the Coast Guard cutter. Magnus stands beside the Prime Minister. One microphone. One sentence: "My family stole from every teacher, nurse, and fisherman in Norway. Today I give it all back." Thursday 2 p.m. Uncle Lars and 9 board members arrested inside the glass tower. Live streamed. Handcuffs in front of the Nordic Oil logo. The same tower his father built with dirty money. Thursday 6 p.m. The stolen $2.8 billion is seized and returned to the pension fund before sunset. Magnus signs away every ore of his inheritance, keeps only the cracked Rolex and the clothes on his back. Friday morning, he disappears to a small fishing cabin on the Lofoten Islands. No security, no yacht, no billions. Just the northern lights and a new passport in the name Magnus Haraldsen, ordinary citizen. The Nordic Queen is sold at auction. The glass villa in Oslo becomes a children's hospital. The private island in the Maldives is turned into a marine sanctuary. Magnus founds NorthLeak Foundation. First donation, every future speaking fee he will ever earn. Mission statement: expose any oil empire, any royal family, any billionaire hiding blood money in 72 hours or less. The Arctic wind keeps blowing. The northern lights burn green and purple across the sky. And somewhere in a tiny red cabin, a new countdown clock starts ticking. Monday, 0 and 1 second, turn on the bell. The next 72 hours are already loading.